Welcome to the channel NextGen Tech Prep. In today's video, we are diving deep into essential questions and comprehensive answers for the Google Professional Cloud Security Engineer certification. Whether you're preparing for an exam or just looking to sharpen your knowledge, you're in the right place. If you find this content valuable, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Now, let's get started.
Your organization wants to be compliant with the General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR) on Google Cloud. You must implement data residency and operational sovereignty in the EU. What should you do? Choose 2. The options are: Option A, limit the physical location of a new resource with the Organization Policy Service Resource Locations constraint. Option B, use Cloud IDS to get east-west and north-south traffic visibility in the EU to monitor intra-VPC and inter-VPC communication. Option C, limit Google personnel access based on predefined attributes such as their citizenship or geographic location by using key access justifications. Option D, use identity federation to limit access to Google Cloud resources from non-EU entities. Option E, use VPC flow logs to monitor intra-VPC and inter-VPC traffic in the EU.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords: General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR), data residency, operational sovereignty in the EU.
The correct answers are Option A, limit the physical location of a new resource with the Organization Policy Service Resource Locations constraint, and Option C, limit Google personnel access based on predefined attributes such as their citizenship or geographic location by using key access justifications.
Why is this correct? A. The Organization Policy Service Resource Locations constraint allows you to enforce data residency by restricting the physical regions where new resources can be deployed. C. Key access justifications provides operational sovereignty by giving you visibility into and control over every data access request by Google personnel, allowing you to deny access. Why are the others incorrect? D. Cloud IDS is an intrusion detection service that provides threat visibility for network traffic. It does not enforce data residency or operational sovereignty. D. Identity federation is used to manage external user access to Google Cloud, not to enforce data residency or restrict Google support personnel access. E. VPC flow logs capture network traffic information for monitoring and troubleshooting, which does not address the requirements for data residency or operational sovereignty.
You are creating an internal App Engine application that needs to access a user's Google Drive on the user's behalf. Your company does not want to rely on the current user's credentials. It also wants to follow Google recommended practices. What should you do? The options are: Option A, create a new service account and give all application users the role of service account user. Option B, create a new service account and add all application users to a Google group. Give this group the role of service account user. Option C, use a dedicated G Suite admin account and authenticate the application's operations with these G Suite credentials. Option D, create a new service account and grant it G Suite domain-wide delegation. Have the application use it to impersonate the user.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords: internal App Engine application, access a user's Google Drive on the user's behalf, does not want to rely on the current user's credentials, follow Google recommended practices.
The correct answer is Option D, create a new service account and grant it G Suite domain-wide delegation. Have the application use it to impersonate the user.
Why is this correct? D. Granting G Suite domain-wide delegation allows a service account to impersonate users in the domain, granting the application access to their drive data without needing their individual credentials or consent, which is the recommended practice. Why are the others incorrect? A. Giving users the service account user role allows them to act as the service account, but does not allow the service account to access their individual Google Drive data on their behalf. B. Adding users to a group with the service account user role only allows them to act as the service account, which does not provide the application access to their personal Google Drive files. C. Using a dedicated G Suite admin account violates the principle of least privilege, presents a significant security risk, and is not a Google recommended practice for authenticating application operations.
A company's application is deployed with a user-managed service account key. You want to use Google recommended practices to rotate the key. What should you do? The options are: Option A, open Cloud Shell and run Cloud IAM service accounts. Enable auto-rotate IAM account equals IAM_account. Option B, open Cloud Shell and run Cloud IAM service accounts. Keys rotate IAM account equals IAM_account key equals new_key. Option C, create a new key and use the new key in the application. Delete the old key from the service account. Option D, create a new key and use the new key in the application. Store the old key on the system as a backup key.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords: user-managed service account key, Google recommended practices to rotate the key.
The correct answer is option C, create a new key, and use the new key in the application. Delete the old key from the service account.
Why is this correct? C. Google's recommended practice for rotating user-managed service account keys is to manually create a new key, update the application to use it, and then delete the old key. Why are the others incorrect? A. There is no command to enable auto-rotation for user-managed service account keys. Google Cloud does not automatically rotate them. B. The Cloud command keys rotate does not exist. Key rotation must be handled manually by creating and deleting keys. D. Storing the old key compromises security. It must be permanently deleted from the service account once the new key is active.
The Info SEC team has mandated that all new Cloud Run jobs and services in production must have binary authorization enabled. You need to enforce this requirement. What should you do? The options are: Option A, configure an organization policy to require binary authorization enforcement on images deployed to Cloud Run. Option B, configure a Security Health Analytics (SHA) custom rule that prevents the execution of Cloud Run jobs and services without binary authorization. Option C, ensure the Cloud Run admin role is not assigned to developers. Option D, configure a binary authorization custom policy that is not editable by developers and auto-attaches to all Cloud Run jobs and services.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords: Cloud Run jobs and services, binary authorization enabled. Enforce this requirement.
The correct answer is option A, configure an organization policy to require binary authorization enforcement on images deployed to Cloud Run.
Why is this correct? A. Organization policies provide centralized, preventative guardrails in Google Cloud. Configuring an organization policy is the proper way to proactively enforce that binary authorization must be used for all Cloud Run deployments. Why are the others incorrect? B. Security Health Analytics provides detective controls to identify misconfigurations after they occur, but it cannot proactively prevent the execution of services. C. Removing admin roles from developers limits their permissions, but it does not inherently enforce or mandate the use of binary authorization on Cloud Run deployments. D. A binary authorization policy defines the rules for image deployment, but an organization policy is still required to actually enforce that Cloud Run uses binary authorization.
You are in charge of creating a new Google Cloud organization for your company. Which two actions should you take when creating the super administrator accounts? Choose two. The options are: Option A, create an access level in the Google Admin Console to prevent super admin from logging in to Google Cloud. Option B, disable any identity and access management (IAM) roles for super admin at the organization level in the Google Cloud Console. Option C, use a physical token to secure the super admin credentials with multi-factor authentication (MFA). Option D, Use a private connection to create the super admin accounts to avoid sending your credentials over the internet. Option E. Provide non-privileged identities to the super admin users for their day-to-day activities.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords: creating a new Google Cloud organization, creating the super administrator accounts.
The correct answers are option C. Use a physical token to secure the super admin credentials with multi-factor authentication, MFA. And option E. Provide non-privileged identities to the super admin users for their day-to-day activities.
Why is this correct? C. Super administrator accounts have unrestricted access, making them high-value targets. Securing these credentials with a physical token for MFA is a crucial security best practice. E. Super admin accounts should only be used for necessary administrative tasks. Providing non-privileged identities for daily activities minimizes the risk of accidental or malicious widespread damage. Why are the others incorrect? A. Preventing super admins from logging into Google Cloud defeats their purpose, as they are required to configure and manage the Google Cloud organization initially. B. Super administrators inherently hold high-level privileges. Disabling their IAM roles at the organization level is not a standard or effective way to secure the accounts. D. Google's authentication process is already encrypted via HTTPS. A private connection does not mitigate the primary risks of phishing or credential theft like MFA does.
An organization's typical network and security review consists of analyzing application transit routes, request handling, and firewall rules. They want to enable their developer teams to deploy new applications without the overhead of this full review. How should you advise this organization? The options are: Option A. Use Forseti with firewall filters to catch any unwanted configurations in production. Option B. Mandate use of infrastructure as code and provide static analysis in the CI/CD pipelines to enforce policies. Option C. Route all VPC traffic through customer-managed routers to detect malicious patterns in production. Option D. All production applications will run on premises. Allow developers free rein in GCP as their dev and QA platforms.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords: network and security review, enable their developer teams to deploy new applications without the overhead of this full review.
The correct answer is option B. Mandate use of infrastructure as code and provide static analysis in the CI/CD pipelines to enforce policies.
Why is this correct? B. Implementing infrastructure as code, IAC, with static analysis in CI/CD pipelines automatically validates deployments against security policies prior to provisioning. This eliminates manual review overhead while ensuring security compliance, empowering developers to deploy rapidly and safely. Why are the others incorrect? A. Forseti is reactive, monitoring existing production configurations for violations. It does not prevent non-compliant deployments initially, failing to provide the pre-deployment guardrails needed to safely bypass manual reviews. C. Routing traffic through customer-managed routers is a reactive monitoring strategy that adds architectural complexity. It does not automate the pre-deployment security checks required to eliminate manual review overhead. Why are the others incorrect? D. Allowing developers free rein in GCP without automated guardrails introduces severe security risks. Furthermore, moving production on premises contradicts the goal of streamlining secure cloud deployments.
A customer deploys an application to App Engine and needs to check for Open Web Application Security Project, OWASP, vulnerabilities. Which service should be used to accomplish this? The options are: Option A, Cloud Armor. Option B, Google Cloud Audit Logs. Option C, Web Security Scanner. Option D, Anomaly Detection.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords: deploys an application to App Engine, check for Open Web Application Security Project, OWASP, vulnerabilities.
The correct answer is option C, Web Security Scanner.
Why is this correct? C. Web Security Scanner is designed to actively identify security vulnerabilities in web applications deployed on App Engine, including common OWASP vulnerabilities such as cross-site scripting, XSS, and mixed content. Why are the others incorrect? A. Cloud Armor provides DDoS protection and a web application firewall, WAF, to mitigate attacks, but it does not actively scan applications for OWASP vulnerabilities. B. Google Cloud Audit logs record administrative activities and resource accesses for compliance and auditing, not for identifying application-level security vulnerabilities. D. Anomaly detection identifies unusual patterns in logs or network traffic but does not perform active vulnerability scanning for web applications.
You are exporting application logs to cloud storage. You encounter an error message that the log syncs don't support uniform bucket-level access policies. How should you resolve this error? The options are: Option A, change the access control model for the bucket. Option B, update your sync with the correct bucket destination. Option C, add the roles/logging.logwriter identity and access management (IAM) role to the bucket for the log sync identity. Option D, add the roles/logging.bucketwriter identity and access management (IAM) role to the bucket for the log sync identity.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords: exporting application logs to cloud storage. Log syncs don't support uniform bucket-level access policies.
The correct answer is option A, change the access control model for the bucket.
Why is this correct? A. The error explicitly states log syncs do not support uniform bucket-level access. To resolve this, you must change the bucket's access control model to fine-grained, allowing the log sync to use legacy ACLs to write logs to the bucket. Why are the others incorrect? B. Updating the sync destination will not resolve the issue if the destination still has uniform bucket-level access enabled. The problem is the access control policy, not the destination itself. C. Adding this IAM role does not fix the specific error regarding uniform bucket-level access. The sync needs legacy ACL support, which is disabled when uniform bucket-level access is active. D. This role is irrelevant to resolving the specific error about uniform bucket-level access policies on a cloud storage bucket.
You need to use Cloud External Key Manager to create an encryption key to encrypt specific BigQuery data at rest in Google Cloud. Which steps should you do first? The options are: Option A, 1. Create or use an existing key with a unique Uniform Resource Identifier (URI) in your Google Cloud project. 2. Grant your Google Cloud project access to a supported external key management partner system. Option B, 1. Create or use an existing key with a unique Uniform Resource Identifier (URI) in Cloud Key Management Service, Cloud KMS. 2. In Cloud KMS, grant your Google Cloud project access to use the key. Option C, 1. Create or use an existing key with a unique Uniform Resource Identifier (URI) in a supported external key management partner system. 2. In the external key management partner system, grant access for this key to use your Google Cloud project. Option D, 1. Create an external key with a unique Uniform Resource Identifier (URI) in Cloud Key Management Service, Cloud KMS. 2. In Cloud KMS, grant your Google Cloud project access to use the key.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords: Cloud External Key Manager, create an encryption key. Steps should you do first?
The correct answer is option C, 1. Create or use an existing key with a unique Uniform Resource Identifier (URI) in a supported external key management partner system. 2. In the external key management partner system, grant access for this key to use your Google Cloud project.
Why is this correct? C. With Cloud EKM, the key must be created in the external key management partner system first, and you must grant Google Cloud access to it before configuring it in Cloud KMS. Why are the others incorrect? A. The encryption key must be created in the external key management system, not within your Google Cloud project. B. Cloud EKM requires the key material to be generated and stored externally, rather than natively within Cloud KMS. D. You cannot create an external key directly in Cloud KMS, it must be created in the supported external partner system.
Your company uses Google Cloud and has publicly exposed network assets. You want to discover the assets and perform a security audit on these assets by using a software tool in the least amount of time. What should you do? The options are: Option A, run a platform security scanner on all instances in the organization. Option B, identify all external assets by using Cloud Asset Inventory, and then run a network security scanner against them. Option C, contact a Google-approved security vendor to perform the audit. Option D, notify Google about the pending audit and wait for confirmation before performing the scan.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords: publicly exposed network assets, discover the assets, least amount of time.
The correct answer is option B. Identify all external assets by using Cloud Asset Inventory, and then run a network security scanner against them.
Why is this correct? B. Cloud Asset Inventory allows you to quickly and efficiently discover all external assets in your environment, providing the necessary target list to run a network security scanner in the least amount of time. Why are the others incorrect? A. Scanning all instances in the organization is inefficient and does not specifically target the publicly exposed assets, failing the requirement to complete the task in the least amount of time. C. Engaging an external security vendor is a lengthy administrative process that cannot be completed in the least amount of time compared to using native and automated software tools. D. Google Cloud does not require you to notify them or obtain confirmation before conducting security audits or penetration tests on your own deployed resources.
Which international compliance standard provides guidelines for information security controls applicable to the provision and use of cloud services? The options are: Option A, ISO 27001. Option B, ISO 27002. Option C, ISO 27017. Option D, ISO 27018.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords: International Compliance Standard, Guidelines for Information Security Controls, Cloud Services.
The correct answer is option C, ISO 27017.
Why is this correct? C. ISO 27017 specifically provides guidelines for information security controls applicable to the provision and use of cloud services, expanding upon the controls defined in ISO 27002. Why are the others incorrect? A. ISO 27001 outlines the overarching requirements for establishing and maintaining an information security management system, ISMS, but does not provide specific guidelines for cloud services. B. ISO 27002 provides a general reference set of information security controls and best practices, but it is not tailored specifically for cloud computing environments. D. ISO 27018 establishes control objectives and guidelines specifically focused on protecting personally identifiable information, PII, in public cloud environments, rather than general cloud security controls.
Your organization's customers must scan and upload the contract and their driver license into a web portal in cloud storage. You must remove all personally identifiable information, PII, from files that are older than 12 months. Also, you must archive the anonymized files for retention purposes. What should you do? The options are: Option A, set a time to live, TTL, of 12 months for the files in the cloud storage bucket that removes PII and moves the files to the archive storage class. Option B, create a cloud data loss prevention, DLP, inspection job that de-identifies PII in files created more than 12 months ago and archives them to another cloud storage bucket. Delete the original files. Option C, configure the auto-class feature of the cloud storage bucket to de-identify PII. Archive the files that are older than 12 months. Delete the original files. Option D. Schedule a Cloud Key Management Service, KMS, rotation period of 12 months for the encryption keys of the cloud storage files containing PII to de-identify them. Delete the original keys.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords, remove all personally identifiable information, PII, from files that are older than 12 months, archive the anonymized files for retention purposes.
The correct answer is option B. Create a Cloud Data Loss Prevention (DLP) inspection job that de-identifies PII in files created more than 12 months ago and archives them to another cloud storage bucket. Delete the original files.
Why is this correct? B. Cloud DLP is designed to inspect cloud storage, identify PII, and apply de-identification techniques. Creating a job that targets older files, outputs them to an archive, and deletes the originals fully satisfies the requirements. Why are the others incorrect? A. Cloud Storage Object Lifecycle Management, TTL, can transition objects to colder storage classes or delete them based on age, but it cannot inspect file contents or remove PII. C. Cloud Storage Autoclass automatically manages object storage classes based on access patterns to optimize costs. It does not have any capability to inspect or de-identify PII. D. Deleting the original KMS encryption keys results in cryptographic erasure, rendering the entire file permanently unreadable, destroyed, rather than anonymized for retention.
Employees at your company use their personal computers to access your organization's Google Cloud Console. You need to ensure that users can only access the Google Cloud Console from their corporate-issued devices and verify that they have a valid enterprise certificate. What should you do? The options are: Option A. Implement an access policy in Beyond Corp Enterprise to verify the device certificate. Create an access binding with the access policy just created. Option B. Implement a VPC firewall policy. Activate packet inspection and create an allow rule to validate and verify the device certificate. Option C. Implement an organization policy to verify the certificate from the access context. Option D. Implement an identity and access management (IAM) conditional policy to verify the device certificate.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords, ensure that users can only access the Google Cloud Console from their corporate-issued devices, verify that they have a valid enterprise certificate.
The correct answer is option A. Implement an access policy in Beyond Corp Enterprise to verify the device certificate. Create an access binding with the access policy just created.
Why is this correct? A. Beyond Corp Enterprise enables context-aware access policies. By integrating endpoint verification and creating an access binding, it verifies device certificates to ensure access is restricted to corporate-issued devices. Why are the others incorrect? B. VPC firewall policies operate at the network layer and evaluate IP addresses, ports, and protocols. They cannot perform packet inspection to validate or verify device certificates. C. Organization policies enforce resource configuration restrictions across the Google Cloud hierarchy. They do not evaluate user access context or verify client device certificates. D. IAM conditional policies can evaluate access levels based on context, but verifying specific device certificates requires configuring Access Context Manager in Beyond Corp Enterprise, not just a standalone IAM condition.
You have created an OS image that is hardened per your organization's security standards and is being stored in a project managed by the security team. As a Google Cloud Administrator, you need to make sure all VMs in your Google Cloud organization can only use that specific OS image while minimizing operational overhead. What should you do? Choose 2. The options are: Option A. Grant users the compute.image user role in their own projects. Option B. Grant users the compute.image user role in the OS image project. Option C. store the image in every project that is spun up in your organization. Option D, set up an image access organization policy constraint, and list the security team managed project in the projects allow list. Option E, remove VM instance creation permission from users of the projects, and only allow you and your team to create VM instances.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords, stored in a project managed by the security team. All VMs in your Google Cloud organization can only use that specific OS image, minimizing operational overhead.
The correct answers are Option B, grant users the compute.image user role in the OS image project. And Option D, set up an image access organization policy constraint, and list the security team managed project in the projects allow list.
Why is this correct? B. Granting the compute.image user role in the OS image project allows users from other projects to access and use the centralized hardened image to create VM instances. D. The compute.trusted image projects organization policy constraint restricts which projects can provide images. Allowing only the security project ensures VMs can only be created using its specific images. Why are the others incorrect? A. Granting compute.image user in user's own projects does not provide them access to images that are stored in the separate security team managed project. C. Copying and storing the image in every project introduces significant operational overhead for image distribution, management, and updates. E. Restricting VM creation to a central administrator team creates a massive bottleneck and increases operational overhead, as they would have to manually deploy all VMs.
You need to create a VPC that enables your security team to control network resources such as firewall rules. How should you configure the network to allow for separation of duties for network resources? The options are: Option A, set up multiple VPC networks, and set up multi-NIC virtual appliances to connect the networks. Option B, set up VPC network peering, and allow developers to peer their network with a shared VPC. Option C, set up a VPC in a project. Assign the compute network admin role to the security team, and assign the compute admin role to the developers. Option D, set up a shared VPC where the security team manages the firewall rules, and share the network with developers via service projects.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords, create a VPC, security team to control network resources such as firewall rules, separation of duties for network resources.
The correct answer is Option D, set up a shared VPC where the security team manages the firewall rules, and share the network with developers via service projects.
Why is this correct? D. Shared VPC allows a central host project to manage network resources and firewalls, while developers use service projects to manage their compute instances. This architecture is the Google recommended best practice for achieving strict separation of duties. Why are the others incorrect? A. Setting up multiple VPCs with multi-NIC appliances adds unnecessary architectural complexity and overhead. It does not utilize GCP's native IAM or shared VPC capabilities to cleanly enforce separation of duties. B. VPC network peering connects independent networks but leaves network administration decentralized. Each peered network manages its own firewalls, preventing the central security team from maintaining unified control. Why are the others incorrect? C. The compute admin role grants full access to all compute engine resources, including networks and firewalls. Assigning this role to developers allows them to modify firewall rules, failing to achieve the required separation of duties.